Madam Chairwoman, I appreciate the witnesses being here, and I want to thank all of you for your service at a very important time in our country's history, and of course, yahoo to the New Hampshire people who are here. It's fantastic. You know, our country right now is facing a diverse, complex set of threats around the world, and one of the issues that really goes to the heart of readiness, and I appreciate the challenges that you're facing right now in terms of making sure that our troops have the training and equipment they need. But I think, as Mr. Conger said in his written statement, that installations support our military readiness. And so this is an important part of readiness as well. And yet it's often, I think, the first area that the Department has to turn to and has turned to cut. And this year really is no exception. The administration is proposing a significant cut to military construction and facility sustainment, restoration, and modernization funding. As Senator Shaheen outlined, the FY15 request for new construction and family housing is 33% lower than FY14 enacted levels and 40% lower than the FY14 request. So this really, as I look at this proposal, funds only what is required to keep DoD installations as well as housing and other facilities safe, secure, and operational. And many important decisions on deferring routine maintenance are being held off, including major purchases, where we're going to be accepting more risks and really hoping that we're able to sustain that another year. And I think that's the challenge that we face here. And I think, unfortunately, we are accepting more risks for the past 5 years, and we have many systems that are in poor condition. I'm concerned about some of the condition of the facilities in which our servicemen and women operate. The Defense Department has an increasing number of facilities that are in poor to failing condition, and this is true across all the services, the total force, not just the active duty, but also the Guard and Reserve. And certainly, I think this is an important part of the hearing today about what risks we're taking on with this proposal. In Senator Shaheen's and my home state of New Hampshire, the average condition index for assessed Army National Guard facilities was poor, trending to failing. And in fact, since the mid-1960s, the New Hampshire Army National Guard has only been able to construct one new readiness center for its soldiers. We're grateful for that. But the New Hampshire Army National Guard's largest readiness center in Manchester was constructed in 1932. It's grossly undersized. It doesn't comply with building code standards, as well as some of the key health and safety standards, as well as anti-terrorism force protection standards. So this to me, as we think about this, it's not just the investment we're making in the active duty, but we know that in the conflicts we've had in Afghanistan and Iraq, it's really been our Guard and Reserve who have been operational as well, and these facilities are very important to ensure that our men and women in uniform and our Guard and Reserve aren't in subpar facilities that really have health and safety issues. So I look forward to better understanding how the Army determines the MILCON requirements in states as well and ensures that those requirements are met. Let me just echo what Senator Shaheen said about the prioritization of funding for the Air Force's investment in the KC-46, both with development and stationing. I share Senator Shaheen's views that this is great to see you prioritize this funding, and obviously we're incredibly proud that the Air Force chose Pease Air National Guard Base to be the first Air National Guard Base to receive the KC-46A next generation tanker, and so I thank you for prioritizing that in this proposal. For the Navy, at our 4 public shipyards, I still remain concerned that critical MILCON projects are still being delayed that can negatively impact readiness and efficiency. And certainly I appreciate some of the advances that we have made for the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, but at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard there are 2 projects that have been tentatively delayed by a year. The P-285 Barracks FY15 to FY16 and the P-309 rail project from FY16 to FY17. These are projects that I'm concerned about. I'm also concerned that the public shipyards may not receive the 6% in MILCON funding as required by the Minimal Capital Investment Plan, and I look forward to discussing these issues with our witnesses. Again, let me just echo the comments of my colleague and the chairwoman that the administration's proposal, again, for another background, I'm very concerned about this proposal. It's not a proposal that I can support. The Government Accountability Office, as Senator Shaheen talked about, has done a number of studies of the 2005 background, which found, among other things, that BRAC implementation costs grew to about $35 billion, exceeding the initial estimates that were given for the cost of this background by $21 billion, or 67%. And I understand certainly that the Department will make the case that this was somehow a unique background, but I remain concerned that we are going to be in a position where the cost we put into this will not be the return that we receive. And in addition to that, I believe that if we look at, for example, the needs we have right now, one of them being in the Navy, and of our 4 public shipyards, that we don't have excess capacity and we don't have a need for a background at this point. I mean, with regard to the maintenance, for example, at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard of our attack submarine fleet, they are booked for a number of years, and really the work is there that needs to be done to ensure that our attack submarine fleet is prepared. And in addition, with the Department's shift to the Asia-Pacific region, now more than ever, I think I would like to hear from the witnesses where you believe that there's excess capacity, if any, that would justify a background at this point. Finally, I appreciate the work that the Department and each of the services are doing to increase energy efficiency and to ensure that Department of Defense energy programs allow for greater cost efficiency and mission effectiveness. And thank you for your work there. I think that's important. I thank the Chair for holding this hearing, and I want to thank again all the witnesses for your service to our country during challenging times.